Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you've all had a good couple of weeks. I do feel a lot more relaxed doing this fortnightly than every week, and I think it started to show, as a lot of you have said in your comments. So much appreciated for all your support on that. It's definitely worked out better for me. This might be a little bit of a rush job today, so you'll have to forgive me for how this turns out. I planned to do this on Friday afternoon, then planned to do it Saturday morning, then Sunday. Life got in the way. I took on a couple of jobs at home that I've been meaning to do for absolutely ages. And you know what it's like when you get the bit between your teeth. Jason, you'll know this because you're constantly making improvements to your film shows and stuff like that. I just wanted to get it done, and I thought, I can do the video at a later date. But today is definitely the last chance. So I'm going to wing through this as quickly as I can. I want to bring it in at under an hour if I can, because I need to be somewhere in about an hour and a half. So let's see how we go. I'll start with comments on the last video, as I always do, and I'll start with David as I always do. The film that disappointed me the most is Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. I remember trying to watch it, but there was a kid talking all the way through. So that was a bad experience for me. Yeah, is there anything worse? I can just about remember it. It's been so long since I've been to the cinema, as you all know, and that question's coming up in a minute, so I'll come back to that. Thoughts on Death Wish 3? I haven't seen beyond Death Wish 2. Death Wish 1 was absolutely amazing. Death Wish 2 was really, really, really unpleasant. It dialed the unpleasantness up to about 11. I thought it was horrible. I've seen it a couple of times. I think the last time was probably about a year or two back, and it's lost none of its power in 40 years over. So it's horrible. But I've not gone beyond that. I've seen bits of the others because they're screened fairly regularly on sort of ITV3 and ITV4, sort of late night, sort of Saturdays and stuff like that. So I've seen bits of them, but I've not seen Death Wish 3 or beyond that. But I do plan on going through the whole franchise at some point. So I'll let you know when I have watched it, and I'll let you know what I think. What is the worst film experience you have ever seen at the cinema? Yeah, I mean, everybody else will pretty much know this, so I'll rattle through this as quick as I can. It was Deep Blue Sea. To cut a long story short, there were people talking all the way through it. There were mobiles lighting up like Christmas trees all around me. And I got one guy who was sitting behind me talking on the phone to his mate, describing what was happening on screen. And I stuck it for about half an hour, and I thought, you know what, sod this. And I walked out, and that was the last time I went in a cinema. I do remember it was a free night. I can't remember how it came about, but I do remember reading that it was free to get in. And obviously all the commoners turned up. So that's really snobbish, doesn't it? But something should have told me when I saw the word free, alarm bells should have rang, and I should have thought, maybe free isn't better. So as it happens, it was horrible. I haven't been back since, and that was, well, when was Deep Blue Sea out? Late 90s, so you're talking nearly 30 years ago. I do plan on going again at some point. I've heard the red carpet in Barton is very nice. I've even heard Cineworld is not as tolerant towards people talking and stuff like that as it used to be. So maybe at some point soon, if I can find a movie that I'm eager enough to go to the cinema to watch, I will recommence the movie going. I know Close Encounters and Saturday Night Fever are both due for 50th anniversaries in about 2 years' time. I'm hoping to go before that, but almost certainly they will be two movies that I will go and watch on the big screen. I've seen Close Encounters many times on the big screen when it first came out. Saturday Night Fever I couldn't watch in its original form because I was too young. It was an X certificate, but I did watch the A certificate version when that was released, probably 2-3 years later. And that cleaned up at the box office because it basically opened the movie up to the rest of the world that couldn't see it at the time for being too young. But yeah, there's two movies that almost certainly will get me back inside a cinema, so we shall see how we go with that one. Have you seen Force 10 from Navarone, and what is your opinion on it? Haven't seen it yet. I got it on Blu-ray probably 2 or 3 months back, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. It's an old story, I know. But as soon as I do, mate, I shall let you know what I think. I get the feeling it's going to be good. Robert Shaw, you can't go wrong with Robert Shaw. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having a look at that. So I shall drag it out from the collection and put it down by the TV and add it to. Is it May or June, July? Watch this. I lose track. So thanks for that, David. Much appreciated. Good to hear from you as always. Steve Mack, our Criterion guy. Morning, Steve. Tony, I watched Slade in Flame. First time I'd seen it. Very interesting. My favourite scene was the visit to the pirate radio station and seeing a young Tommy Vance. Some nice special features on the Blu-ray too. Slade had 6 number ones in the 70s. They were huge. They were massive. I know they wound educational authorities up an awful lot with those misspelt song titles. That annoyed them mightily. I remember that. But they were always at number one. They were pretty much always in the charts between about 1971 and about 1974. Slade in Flame I watched for the first time probably 2-3 years back and thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was amazing. Kermode calls it the Citizen Kane of pop music movies, and he's quite right. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm really looking forward to taking a look at the Blu-ray. I've managed to get a book, which I think I showed off a couple of weeks ago, a massive big A4 thing about the history of the making of the movie and the concept behind it and stuff like that. And I've also got the soundtrack, which permanently lives in the car. So you literally can't go wrong with it. I thought it was an amazing film. I rewatched my 4K of Revenge of the Sith. I really enjoyed it this time round, although my favourite is still Star Wars A New Hope. Oh, a man after my own heart. I love A New Hope. Absolutely adore it. I need to rewatch the prequel trilogy and the ones that come after again. And I also need to take a look at some of the series that are getting some rave reviews. Some of them have been out for some time. The Mandalorian, Andor is supposed to be very good. The Star Wars universe is just absolutely huge. If I went through that in chronological order, I'd probably be dead before I finished it. So, but I would like to take on the original 9, well, the original 3, and then the following 6 again, just to see whether I can appreciate them better this time round than I did the first time round. There are 2 of the last lot that I haven't seen. I think Revenge of the Sith is one. I heard that was a very dark Star Wars film. And The Rise of Skywalker, which I've never seen. So it's a perfect opportunity to go through the whole lot. And again, Star Wars gets a 50th anniversary release on, well, I would imagine it will get in 2027, in about 2 years' time. And I'm really hoping that they're going to release the original version before it got, I won't say messed up because it seemed brilliant at the time, but the very different special edition that came out. The original versions are like, they're as rare as hen's teeth. You can't get them anywhere. I know there are certain sort of bootleggers that do them and this, that and the other, but I would love to see an official release of the original trilogy in their original form. That would be something to get. Absolutely. There are 2 Mamet films. David Mamet, the director, I would suggest for surprises. That's House of Games and The Spanish Prisoner. I've earmarked both of them. I remember the House of Games coming into the video shop many years ago. Never moved. Never ever moved. It was always on the shelf. This would have been about 1987, if I remember right. The Spanish Prisoner, I'm safe to say I've never heard of, but I'm going to take that recommendation on board, and I will be taking a look at that one. Fright Night got a 4K Steelbook release a few years back. I've got that. It might be on eBay. It's Sony, so Blu-ray is multi-region. I didn't realise Sony's Blu-rays were multi-region. I'll have to take a look at the rest of their back catalogue. I love Fright Night. It's one of my favourite vampire movies. Saw it at the Odeon '85. I think I've even got the soundtrack on vinyl somewhere upstairs. I might have shown it off before, but it's a cracking movie. There was an earlier Studio 4K Canal release, Studio Canal 4K release of Ran. I got that a few years back, a much cheaper option to see this brilliant film. It's one that I need to watch, but it's a very long film. I think it's well over 2 hours, well over 2.5 hours. But Sam, from Sammy G's World of Cinema recommended it to me. I've managed to get a copy. I'm not sure whether it's that particular one, but it's a version of it. So I will be taking a look at that at some point when I can string together 2 3/4 hours to watch it, along with Reds, which she kindly sent to me, and there are quite a few others. The length of movies nowadays, you're lucky to find one that's under 2 hours. So you pretty much need to set aside a whole morning to take them in. But thanks for that, Steve. Much appreciated, mate. Brilliant to hear from you, as always. Stuart, morning, Stu. I recently watched both Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. I enjoyed Fallen Kingdom, but Dominion not so much. I watched Fallen Kingdom a long time back. I thought it was all right, and Dominion was okay. I remember going to see the original Jurassic Park when it came out. It would have been '93. And the sense of wonder that you got when you first set eyes on that Brontosaurus is just incredible. Is it just me, or is it a little bit underwhelming nowadays? I do enjoy them, don't get me wrong. I think they're great action movies. It was brilliant to see Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and all the old cohorts coming back to the franchise. It was brilliant. But I just can't help thinking that it might have run its course now. What do you guys think? Because I know you lot still enjoy them. I know Jason loves the Jurassic World movies. And, you know, there's not one of them that I wouldn't watch again. But the one that I've seen the most is the original and possibly The Lost World. After that, I can't help thinking it maybe should have been left alone. But that's just my viewpoint. Let me know what you guys think about that. As I say, I do enjoy them. And I'm looking forward to watching Rebirth now that I've caught up with Dominion. But I just get the feeling I'm going to come away from it thinking that was good. Just good. So let's see what you guys say about it. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes I've not seen yet. Again, same argument. It was good. It was all right. Nothing special. I will still always go back to the original, followed by the other four in the sort of original series. The 2001 remake, Tim Burton. Oh dear. Definitely misfire. Definite misfire, that one. I watched it again recently, probably about a year ago, and it was as bad as I remembered it being. Normally when you leave them alone for a few years or a decade or two, you come back to them and think, actually, that's not as bad. I've got a new appreciation for it, but I couldn't do anything with that one at all. So it didn't do much for me. As for the sort of Dawn, War, and Rise of the Planet of the Apes, the new trilogy, they were okay. They were all right. And Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was visually stunning, absolutely amazing. The visuals were just perfect, and the story was okay. But it was just another of those movies that, you know, it was good. I'd probably watch it again, but I'm in no rush to do so. I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with it now. I did enjoy all the little nods to the original series. I just thought it was okay. I see Earthquake, the classic 70s disaster movie, is coming out on 4K Blu-ray. That's a day one pickup for me. I love all the 70s disaster movies, and Earthquake is top notch. Towering Inferno is definitely my number one though. I did enjoy the Towering Inferno. It's a long film, but bloody brilliant. Paul Newman and Steve McQueen, what a team. And Irwin Allen, the absolute master of disaster movies. I've yet to watch The Poseidon Adventure. My favourite would have to be, if we're talking disaster movies, I'd say The Swarm. It still is. I love The Swarm, and I know it got horrible reviews and people slag it off. I thought it was amazing when I first went to see it. Would have been, what year would that have been? 78? Long time ago. I actually went to see it twice. I took a mate to see it. And I loved it, and I still love it now, and I still think it's brilliant. And I know the acting is a little bit hammy in parts, but to hell with it. It's just a great, fun movie. So I would say The Swarm is definitely my favourite, but I did enjoy Earthquake. Whether I'd want it in 4K or not, I don't know. But I wouldn't mind a copy of it in the collection. Any others I can think of? Disaster movies? There were so many. So many. Roller Coaster was good. I remember that one with George Segal. That was a good one. I'll have to do a little collection of favourite disaster movies. I must have 4 or 5 of them upstairs. I'll have a look. So great video, Tony, mate. Cheers, Stu. Much appreciated, mate. Always great to hear from you. Roy. Hello, Tony. Hello, Roy. Glad your new schedule is suiting you. As everyone has said, you must do what works for you. And this does work for me. This one's a little bit rushed, but the next one I do, obviously this will be uploaded on Saturday morning, which I assume is when you guys will watch it. And I will do a 30-minute video or 30 minutes of the video on Sunday morning, basically getting together all the comments that have been made from Saturday. And then I've only got about half an hour to film the following weekend when all the other comments are in. So it works so much better for me. It is so much easier, and I really appreciate you guys sort of supporting me on this, because it's definitely working better, and I think it'll work better for you as well. I'm sure it will. The Brood I watched just recently. Sam upgraded his copy to the 4K, so he very kindly sent me his Blu-ray copy. He also sent me Scanners, but not got to that yet. I really enjoyed The Brood, and Scanners was just a legend of a movie. The most disappointing cinema trip I ever had was War of the Roses. Utter tripe. I know Stuart is a big fan. Really? We're going down this road again? I can just imagine Stuart on the other end of this going, for fuck's sake, Roy, bloody hell. I can just imagine the steam coming out of his ears now and him typing furiously. Yes, so can I. I saw The War of the Roses many, many years ago. I can't remember much about it apart from the fact it's Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner reunited after the triumph of Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile, and a lot of people said it just didn't work. I can't remember because I can't remember anything about it, but I would love to take another look at it. It's a warring married couple, isn't it? Constantly arguing. So I probably wouldn't enjoy it, but I shall give it a go if I can find it. A kind of creature feature I like is Samuel Fuller's White Dog. It's about a woman that takes in a dog only to find out it's been trained to attack black people. Really disturbing and thought-provoking, considering it was an actual practice that used to go on. Really? Seriously? God, only in the 70s and only in America, eh? I do remember seeing a trailer to this many, many moons ago when it first came out. It would have been early 80s. And thinking, that looks really good, but I don't think I ever watched it. I can't recall ever seeing it. But I will try and track it down. I'm guessing that's quite a rare film nowadays. And I would imagine in today's climate it is actually quite controversial, but I would love to see it. So I'm going to be tracking that one down, and I'll let you know when I've done that. I have that Jacques Tati set. One of my favourite things in the collection. Rowan Atkinson actually based Mr. Bean on the Monsieur Hulot character. I think Playtime is my favourite. A work of art and an absolute masterpiece. Cheers, Tony. Take it easy, mate. Cheers, Roy. Much appreciated. I love the movies that I've seen of Jacques Tati. Monsieur Hulot's Holiday is just a complete masterpiece. Don't think I've seen Playtime. I'm not sure. But I have seen most of them, but it was a long time ago. So I do need to reacquaint myself with them. I think Talking Pictures are running them on Saturday afternoons at the moment. So yeah, it's a cracking set. It's got pretty much everything he ever did on there. And as you saw last week, I got a biography of Jacques Tati, which I suddenly realised looking the books, I'd not actually got one. So I found one, ordered it, and I've not started it yet. No surprise at all. So, cheers for that, Roy. Much appreciated. Ollie, morning, Al. Good evening, Tony. Catching this one later today as I've been out for a lot of the day. Did my second viewing of the new Mission Impossible, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Then came home and watched Tropic Thunder, which was hilarious. Robert Downey Jr. steals the film for me. What is your favourite Robert Downey Jr. film outside of the MCU? Obviously. I'm not really a great fan of the MCU, I've got to confess. I did try getting into it probably a couple of years ago. I only got as far as the original Thor, so I did mean to pick it up again and sort of carry on with it, but I'm not the biggest fan of superhero movies. It feels kind of forced when I'm watching them, so I may take it up again at some point, but believe me, Robert Downey Jr. in the MCU, not for me. Favourite Robert Downey Jr. film has got to be Chaplin. I thought he was remarkable in that role. I'm a great fan of the Chaplin movies, the originals. He definitely lived the life in Hollywood, definitely. I just thought he was amazing. That is definitely one of my favourites, and I believe he did one called Less Than Zero, which, it's a long time ago, but I do remember enjoying it. I think James Spader is also in it, all to do with drug addiction and stuff like that. Um, I can't think of any others off the top of my head. Leave that one with me. I shall come back to that one, but definitely Chaplin is my favourite. A country mile of all the other ahead of all the others. Um, but Less Than Zero, I do remember enjoying that one. Watched The Mirror Cracked last week, which is a cracking Agatha Christie adaptation with the wonderful Angela Lansbury playing Miss Marple. She's great, isn't she, Angela Lansbury? Bed knobs and broomsticks, need I say more? Highly recommend that one. What's your favourite Agatha Christie adaptation? Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, the Margaret Rutherford movies of the 60s. I think it was Murder She Said, Murder Most Foul, and Murder at the Gallop. I love them. I've seen them many, many times. Every time I watch them, there's only one that I can always remember who did it. The others I always forget. Memory's terrible, but definitely they were my favourites. I also loved the 70s adaptations. So you're talking Murder on the Orient Express, Evil Under the Sun, Death on the Nile, and of course The Mirror Crack, which I think starred the amazing Elizabeth Taylor. And was Rock Hudson in that one as well? I can't remember. But I love those. And also, there's one which I've ordered from Amazon, and I completely forgot about this until I looked at a sort of an Agatha Christie filmography thing on the IMDb. One called 10 Little Indians from 1965. It's the one that had the Who Done It break. It had never been done before. Right before the end, probably 10 minutes before the end, the film paused and a clock appeared on screen. And basically the announcer came on saying that you've got 1 minute to figure out who the killer is before we reveal it, and we're going to play a minute of little clues and reminders to help you. It had never been done before, and I thought that was amazing. So yeah, 10 Little Indians was a good one, and I'll be showing that one off when I get it through. Hope you have had a great weekend so far, and look forward to your next one in 2 weeks' time. Cheers, mate, much appreciated. Featured book. I always do this for Ollie because he loves his books. This week, I'll just go through this one very quickly because there's nothing much to say about it. I love this director. I love the fact that he is continually pushing boundaries. He had numerous fights with the censors from some of his films. Michael Winner. Now, I haven't read this yet. I only got this fairly recently. I've not had a chance to read it, but it's fairly comprehensive, as you can see. It goes right from the start up until present day, I would think. But this guy was just amazing. I watched a documentary on the BBC once. I think it was called Dear Censor. And it detailed the backward and forward letters between Michael Winner and the BBFC concerning the movie Death Wish. My God. He had some pitched battles with them over that one, especially the rape scene. They did not like that at all, and a lot of the language used. But he got his own way in the end, and that's what I like about him. He will not stop until he gets his own way. But I'm going to take a read of this at some point soon, because I think this guy's got the most amazing life story to tell, and I'm looking forward to reading it. So that's week's Michael Winner. Winner takes it all. Takes all? Takes all. So thanks for that, Ollie. Much appreciated, mate. Always good to hear from you, as always. If I have missed anybody's comments, please forgive me. I will go back on it at some point and just make sure that I have got them all. And any that I haven't, I shall tag on to the next video. So, as I say, forgive me if I've forgotten anybody. Sam. Morning, Sam. Great video as ever, Tony, mate. Great to hear the new schedule is working out for you, buddy, and it's running smoothly with the fortnightly Saturday blogs. It's definitely working out better for me, mate. I feel a lot more confident, a lot more relaxed, more chilled. So, yeah, it's 100% working better. Tony, I'm off to see Wes Anderson's latest film. Should be on Monday, or by the time this vlog comes out, I'll have seen it. And also going to see the new Mission Impossible movie. What's your thoughts on the MI film series, bud? I haven't seen a single one. I'm sorry. I can't give you any thoughts on that. Jason will love me for this. I am going to be taking them in very shortly, because the fuss that's being made about Dead Reckoning and the last two, I need to see these, but I need to watch the ones that came before. So my thoughts on the Mission Impossible series are nada, zero, as yet. But leave that with me, mate. I will be getting onto that, I promise you. Glad you enjoyed Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Awesome movie to reboot the Planet of the Apes universe. Where does this rank for you in regards to the 8 film series? I think, as I said earlier, my favourite will always be, and nothing will ever take it away from this, the original from 1968 with Charlton Heston. I just absolutely love it, and I've seen it countless times, and it just gets better every time I watch it. I will always choose the original 5 movies over the newer ones, but that is just me. I'm a bit of a traditionalist, as you all know. I can't remember that many instances of remakes being as good or even better, especially not better, than the originals. But the Planet of the Apes series, they're very close to my heart, but I do like the pure 70s feel of the original series, definitely. You know, the new ones have got their merits. They're visually brilliant. The special effects are just superb. They're just a completely different animal, but they are brilliant. They really are good, but nothing will take away the nostalgia hit of watching the very first one and the 4 sequels to that. So where Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes fits in, I would say probably last, but that doesn't take anything away from it. If I'm going to watch them, I would watch them all in the order that they were released. So it would come last, but it doesn't come last in the way that you think. I still think, as I say, to look at, it was gorgeous. It was absolutely beautiful to look at, and nothing can take anything away from that. But I will always choose the original, so there's your answer to that one. I watched The Limey from Steven Soderbergh this week, Tony. Also his Oscar-winning Traffic and Behind the Candelabra. All really good Steven Soderbergh films. I say The Limey I possibly enjoyed the most. Really looking forward to revisiting the Oceans trilogy as well. I haven't seen Traffic. I know this is this to do with drug trafficking, stuff like that. The Limey I've seen a couple of times and I love it. I think Terence Stamp is amazing in that, as is Peter Fonda. Behind the Candelabra, what a performance from Michael Douglas. Talk about acting against type. For those of you that don't know, this is the biography of Liberace. Just amazing. If you were ever to think of a movie that Michael Douglas would not do, Behind the Candelabra would probably be top of that list. But I tell you what, he comes out on top. He's absolutely amazing in it, and I was really, really surprised at just how good he was. So yeah, Behind the Candelabra, very much recommended if you like your showbiz, controversial sort of movie biographies. That's well worth a look. I never heard of that film, Curse of the Werewolf. Tony, definitely will have to take a look at that one. Love The Howling and American Werewolf, but never seen the original Wolfman nor Dog Soldiers. A right shock. Not really. The Wolfman is way before your time. The Howling and American Werewolf are just stone cold 80s classics. Curse of the Werewolf was probably the first werewolf film I think I ever watched. Along with, I think it was on a double bill with The Wolfman. One of the Saturday Night Horror double bills, I'm sure it was. But both, absolutely amazing. Dog Soldiers is good. It's really, really good. There's nothing much to say about it. It's a straight out or straight up, balls out action horror movie set in the Welsh Valleys of all places. I'm sure it's the Welsh Valleys. But really, really good. If you get a chance, the sequence in the Land Rover, wow. Takes your breath away. Definitely worth a watch, mate. Watched A Fistful of Dollars for the first time, Tony, and absolutely loved it. My Arrow 4K edition of A Few Dollars More came in the post last weekend. Oh, jury's still out on this, whether I'm actually going to get them or not. I'm going to wait until I've read or seen some video reviews of people that have actually bought it, and wait for them to convince me that it is worth upgrading my Blu-ray copies of both of those, or all 3. They are brilliant movies, but they're not movies that I will be watching every year. So Whether it's worth shelling out sort of £36, £37 for each 4K edition, I don't know. Jury's still out, but I'll let you know on that one. Oh yeah, mate, Logan Lucky was such a fun movie. Really enjoyed it, but also Ran is an amazing samurai epic. Looking forward to taking a look at Logan Lucky because of what you said about it. Ran is definitely on the radar. As you know, I've got my Blu-ray copy, but I just need to find 2.5 to 3 hours to actually sit down and watch it. Hope you're keeping well, mate, and bring on the next vlog. Cheers for another awesome Saturday morning vlog, bud. You are more than welcome, mate. Right, I will take a quick break. I'm coming up to 30 minutes and I will be back in a sec with hopefully what will be the second and final half. Cheers. Bollocks. And we're back. Right, this is going remarkably well considering it's a bit of a rush job, and I know I'll probably cursed it by saying that, but let's see how we go, shall we? Jason K, our Ginger Ninja. Good day, Tony. Another cracking vid, and glad to hear that the fortnightly vids are going to work for you and me. Yeah, because what I wanted to do was coincide the first first vid from, let me get this right, I think Jay works every other Saturday, and he likes to have me with him on that Saturday at work, because obviously he doesn't particularly want to work, so I managed to time it right that the first one dropped on the first Saturday that he worked, so which I was more than happy to do. So yes, it's definitely working out better, mate. As you can tell, I'm a lot more sort of confident and happy and carefree. So glad to hear you enjoyed Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. There were a few Easter eggs which were nice, but I felt the ending let the film down. I was hoping for a Beneath the Planet of the Apes style ending. This is the one where they set the rocket off at the end, isn't it? The nuclear rocket. Yeah, as I've said before, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was okay. It was nothing special, but it was okay. It was a passable way to spend sort of 2.5 hours or whatever it was. Would I watch it again? Of course I would, yeah. I'd watch them all again because they're all very good. But given the choice, obviously the originals will always win out with me. That's just how it is. So, the recent Jurassic Park films, Fallen Kingdom and Dominion were disappointing. They looked good, but they were all cosmetic. None of them had the heart of the original. I could not have put that better myself. As I tried to explain earlier in my usual clumsy fashion, the first one had real magic to it because we had never seen anything quite like that. I think the closest we ever got to anything like that was The Land That Time Forgot in 1975, with Doug McClure, one of those lovely, ropey Edgar Rice Burroughs adaptations, where the dinosaurs were pretty much people in suits, but they were just brilliant, just charming. Classic school summer holiday fare in the 70s. But Jurassic Park notched it up to 11, and it was just amazing. And as I said before, I can't help thinking that the rest of the series has been a little bit underwhelming. But I would definitely watch them again. I've seen them all at least once, and I'm looking forward to Rebirth. But let's see what happens with that one. Now, since you have a fortnight, I think a challenge Tony is in line, but this is more a challenging question. Would you rather they remake Revenge of the Nerds or Police Academy with the current woke brigade hovering over everything? The reason this is challenging is that one of them has to be remade, and they are both very non-PC films. Still funny, but they are both products of their time. God, that's a difficult one. Hang on, I'm not central. Now I am. Oh God, that is an awkward one. I would probably prefer to see a remake of Revenge of the Nerds, because I don't think college life, from what I can make out, has changed very much since the 80s. It's still very much stuck in the dark ages, but Police Academy, I love Police Academy. Revenge of the Nerds probably not so much. I did enjoy it the first time I watched it, and I've probably seen it 2 or 3 times since over the years, but Police Academy I've seen countless times, pretty much all of them. I did hear there was a remake in the pipeline of the original Police Academy, and when I first read it, I thought it's not going to look anything like the original, is it? And I know I always say this, but I don't know. Leave that question with me. I'm going to mull that one over the next fortnight. But I get the feeling I would rather see Revenge of the Nerds made, because I don't think they could do much harm to that. Police Academy, I get the feeling I'd watch it and I'd think, oh, this is just boring. But let's see. I'll leave that with me. I'll come back to you on that one. Would you rather? Oh no, that's the question. Sorry. Maybe it's not so challenging, but still, it is challenging, which is why I'm leaving it. Until next time, take care. And I will be watching Hell Comes to Frogtown, by the way, and Havoc, which I believe you challenged me to last time, so I've not forgotten about those. Good to hear from you, mate. Always good to hear from you, Guy. Morning, Guy. Well, what a difference a week makes. You are just so much more mellowed and chilled. This fortnightly thing is a great idea. Cheers, Guy. I think so, and I think it works out better for you guys as well. You get a week off from me, so you know what I mean. It's not like you feel obliged to watch it every week and leave loads of comments. You've got a fortnight to do it, because I will not be recording sort of till sort of the following Sunday. So you've got all week to take a look at that. And I will try to keep the length of them down, because I think the shorter length makes them a lot more appealing. They would to me anyway. So yeah, but I do feel a lot more sort of with it this morning than I normally do, because my head is normally full of what's going to happen in the next one. While I'm recording this one, and I'm constantly thinking I need to keep that note, and I'll save that one till next week, and I must make a note of that. And now I can leave it for a week and basically take care of it the weekend after, so I can have a weekend of recording and a weekend of planning. So much better. And I can see me carrying on with this forever, so long as you guys watch it. But fortnightly, definitely better. Great episode, mate. Well done. Cheers, Guy. Much appreciated. Thanks for your support on that one, mate. Callie, morning, sweetheart. The first fortnightly Saturday morning Tony time. This is going to take a bit of getting used to for me as well, but it's definitely working out. The one film I was the most disappointed by in the cinema was Spawn, a late 90s comic book that was violent, bloody, and dealt with the themes of hell versus heaven. The film, however, was rated 12, nearly bloodless, had wonky CGI, and a total snooze fest. The only good thing about it was the soundtrack. You weren't keen on that one then. Never seen it, so I can't comment on that. I do remember a paperback book in the 70s called Spawn, but it wasn't a comic book hero thing. It was a horror thing by an author. I think it was Sean Hudson, who wrote really, really graphic, full-blooded horror books. But I've not seen that movie that you're talking about. Maybe it'd be worth a go. Maybe it would appeal to me. The Thing is a horror classic, one of my top 10 horror films of all time. I think if you're talking top 10 horror movies, sci-fi movies, I think The Thing will pretty much feature in everybody's top 10. A little bit of trivia about an American Werewolf in London. The effects team won the first ever Oscar for special effects. The Academy actually created the category just for that film, so the movie actually made history. I remember reading something about this ages ago, and I remember seeing on the poster when it originally came out that the special effects team had been nominated for an Oscar, and they got it. I think it was something like that. So I've heard of that, but I didn't actually know that was that was how it was. Hell Comes to Frogtown. What a B-movie classic starring Roddy Piper. A perfect double bill with They Live. They Live I've definitely seen. Hell Comes to Frogtown is absolutely on my radar now, thanks to our Ginger Ninja, Jay. Roddy Piper. I remember watching him when he used to do the was it the WWF back then? I used to have to tape it for a mate of mine, and his missus, who used to love it, and I used to end up watching it, inevitably watching it. So I remember all the old wrestlers: Hacksaw Jim Duggan, was it, with the plank of wood? The Ultimate Warrior, obviously Roddy Piper. There were so many. It was really colourful back then. I don't know what it's like now. I dread to think. Where are we? I've not bought the Russ Meyer book just yet, but I will be getting it ASAP. I don't think you'll be disappointed because you are a massive fan. I've yet to watch the 2 films that I've got and to order the next ones in the series, so I've not watched them yet, and I've never seen one. I just know that they are going to be right up my street. And I did watch a video on YouTube about movies that were banned in America for quite a while, and Russ Meyer featured quite prominently in that list. Basically, his movies are banned in certain states even today, for indecency and stuff like that. What a load of bollocks. In it though, whether it's fortnightly or weekly, I'm still going to watch the episode in one go and leave you an epic comment. It just wouldn't be Tony time if I didn't. It wouldn't. No, absolutely not. And I always look forward to your comments, Callie, because you always give me plenty to go at. Unfortunately, I have to run now as I'm having a new shower fitted. The rigours of life. Thanks for that, Carrie. Much appreciated. Carrie White, is that you? Sorry, Callie. Always good to hear from you as per usual. Let's see, Jason P. Morning, Jay. No need to rush to watch the video today and get comments in. And to be fair, it doesn't seem 2 weeks since the last one, so works both ways. You will get used to it. Nobody died, do you know what I mean? Because I didn't do a video. He didn't. So yeah, as I say, I really appreciate all your support on this, because it's certainly better for me, and I'm hoping you can tell. You definitely can, because you've all been saying so. The best thing is that it works for you. You're the one that does this and spends a few hours of your time doing it. Good to see you are relaxed more when doing them, and it's become fun to do and not a chore again. When will I watch this video? Sod knows, but there's no rush now. Have a nice relaxing weekend, Tone. I will do. As I say, I can basically cut and paste comments on one Saturday. I've got 2 weekends to do it as opposed to one. And as I say, it's just nice to feel, while I'm recording this one, I'm not automatically now thinking of diving headlong into the next one before I've even finished this one. I echo what Guy said. You look so relaxed now. Anyway, yeah, I do. And I feel so much more relaxed. Regarding the renting of horror films from the shop, I never had a problem, as I looked 18 when in fact I was only 14 or 15. Sounds about right. I even managed to rent 18 rated movies from the video store in Station Street, and they were strict as fuck. They asked me if I was 18 once, and I just coolly said, yeah, of course. They never asked me again. Great poker face. Some people can just pull that off. I can't lie to save my life. People know when I'm not telling the truth. So it's just worthless me doing it. That's the dog, sorry. This was the summer of '87 when I'd just done a week of work experience in Doxy's pet shop opposite the video store in Station Street. Wow. Do pet shops even exist anymore? I know there are certain things with animals that you're not allowed to do anymore, so I'd be surprised if pet shops even existed. But I do remember Doxy's. I always used to pop in there. The smell of the place was lovely, and I don't know why, but it was. I rented Commando and First Blood Part 2 out in the same week. Although they had been out on VHS for nearly 6 months, we actually never owned a VCR until the middle of 1987. Kids don't know how lucky they are. God, how different was it back then, Jay? Bloody hell. You used to have to wait. I think it was something like 18 months before you saw any sign of a sort of a home media release of a movie. And as for TV screenings, you were waiting sort of 4 or 5 years before you saw them on TV. So different now. Brand new movies are ready to stream probably a fortnight after they hit cinemas, and if you're willing to pay for them, you can watch pretty much anything you want. So yeah, it was a totally different world back then, and a better one, I think, in a lot of respects. You used to rent me the 18 rated movie. You used to rent me the 18 rated movies out, no questions asked. I was only 14 or 15 then, you little swine. I believed you. You told me you were 18. God, how many years ago was that now? 40 years ago? God, where does it all go? 127 hours is good. I'm claustrophobic, but this didn't bother me as it was out in the open and a true story too. I don't think I could stomach it. I've read about it. I know what happens in it, and I don't think I'd make it through it. I'm fairly sure I wouldn't. It's not one I'm willing to try. You've got a bloody nerve questioning someone for not seeing the Dirty Harry sequels. You are the original Mr. Sequelophobia. I am, you're absolutely right. I have got no room to talk about anybody not seeing movies. I really haven't. So, yeah, you are quite right. See you in a fortnight. Have a great weekend. Cheers, Jay. Much appreciated. And it's always good to hear from you. Thanks for all the comments, guys. You've been absolutely brilliant, as per usual. As I say, if I've missed anybody out, I will catch it on the next one, or just drop me a message, just say, oi, you. Mark, by the way, no comment from Mark this week because he's in Las Vegas, or he was. I think he's probably home by now. Hope you had a good time, mate. It looked amazing. The pictures you put on there were just brilliant. What a holiday. And I will be taking in Grosse Point Blank, which is one of your favourite movies, and I will be checking out an episode of Biker Mice from Mars, just to see what an episode of Biker Mice from Mars actually looks like. And also Mayor of Kingstown, which you recommended to me on Paramount Plus. I've got all my notes here. I do keep a note of what you tell me and what you sort of say to have a look at. So, right. I've got a few bits here. I've got more than a few bits here. I did say... Is that the dog going out? Just bear with me 1 second. Yes, she's opened the door all on her own. She does that. Where was I? Buying things. I have said quite a few times that I'm going to ease off on the buying of certain things. It hasn't happened yet, as you're about to find out. But it has got to happen. One of the jobs that I started this weekend was decluttering. And it suddenly occurred to me, what is the bloody point of you decluttering if you are cluttering it up faster than you're decluttering it with new stuff? So I thought, right, okay. Now I'd already ordered some bits and pieces, and I've got a book, which I will probably do a video on its own. Another thing, Callie, I haven't forgotten about showing off the Pete Walker box set. I'll do a video of that on its own, and I'll tag you in it when it's done. But I've ordered a book. I think it's better that I just show you. I've been after it for quite a while. It's been way too expensive, out of my price range for quite a while. But it just came down to a kind of affordable price. When I tell you the price it was originally going for, and the price that it came down to, and the price that I got it for, I think you'll see why I invested. And it did literally just turn up. While I was taking a quick break, sort of 15 minutes ago, the doorbell went, which I would have been most miffed if that had happened while I was recording this. But it was an Amazon guy dropping off this heavy package, which I will definitely be showing off in a video on its own, so leave that with me. But yes, easing off on buying is definitely starting as of now. So I'll show you what I've got here. First one, and this is probably what started me off on it. This was recommended by Jason and by Mark as a good comedy. Rob loves crude comedy, so he will absolutely love this. Strays. I heard of it, but I'd never seen anything of it, and I watched the trailer to it on Jay's recommendations, and I thought, my God, he will absolutely howl at that, literally. So I thought, I'll order the Blu-ray, and then Jason messaged me after I'd been on and said, I watched the trailer and I've ordered the Blu-ray, and he said, cancel it, it's on Netflix in a couple of weeks. And I thought, you know what, if this is going to go down as well as I thought it will, or think it will, this will probably be a keeper anyway. So that's the first one, Strays. Some magazines, latest issue of Saga magazine. I had to fight a pensioner for that. Not really, but it's come close to it before. Latest issue of The Dark Side, and you've got articles on Suspiria, Boris Karloff versus Bela Lugosi. Let's see, Horrors of Loch Ness revealed. Oh, that could be interesting. And loads of other stuff in there. So that's the latest issue of The Dark Side. Latest issue of Infinity. I always order these at the same time because they're out at the same time. And in this you've got articles on the Pink Panther movies, Little Britain, that'll be interesting. Remembering Tuctonia, never heard of it. Lost in Space, loved Lost in Space. Voice to the Bottom of the Sea, loved that one as well. Let's see, Tarzan in the movies, Empire Building, the making of Star Wars 5, and Grudge Match, Godzilla versus the Thing. Noddy in Filmland, Slade legend interviewed. Latest issue of Infinity, that's going to be worth the read. Latest issue of Film Stories. Look at that. This is a cracking magazine. Basically just film reviews. It's sort of Empire kind of thing. And the latest issue of Doctor Who magazine. I'm going to be separating a load of these guys, so I'm going to put them on one side for you, and as soon as I've got a fair old stack I shall let you know. But I presume you do want all of the old Doctor Who magazines, because I have got quite a few, and also obviously Empire and stuff like that, so I haven't forgotten about that. I've got a book here. I spotted this by accident on Amazon and thought, my God, that is brilliant, can't wait. Hollywood Silent Years, 1915 to 1927, and as it said on the front, timeline of the films, stars and events that defined an era. It looks very, very well illustrated. It is basically, as it says, a timeline of the silent film era, going through all of Chaplin's movies, Mary Pickford, there'll be Harold Lloyd in there, Keystone Cops, all that kind of thing. Really, really looking forward to getting into that. Let's see, I've got a couple more books here. Just bear with me before I get into the DVDs and Blu-rays. I watched an episode of, what was it called? The Michael Aspel thing on Talking Pictures, Strange But True. And they interviewed a little old lady who specialised in sort of legends of the county that she lived in. And I thought, fascinating. So I looked her up, and she'd actually published quite a few books. So I've got this one, Tales of Old Cornwall. I haven't been to Cornwall for decades. I just remember it being the most beautiful place, and it is steeped in legends and stories. And I thought, you know what, this would be a good place to start. And this lady sounded like she knew what she was talking about. I'm guessing she's not around nowadays, because she must have been about 70 when they interviewed her for the programme, and that would have been mid-80s, so I'm guessing she's gone now, but I will definitely have a read of that. And on the back of the last cleaning book I bought, I spotted this one from the same author. I couldn't resist it. The 15-minute clean, the quickest way to a sparkling home. Now, obviously, me and Rob are both cleaners, so we will very much appreciate this. I will have a read through this and see what sort of tips she offers for, because obviously you don't get time to clean your house for hours on end once a week, and if I can do it on 15-20 minutes a day based on this lady's recommendations. And I haven't forgotten what you suggested, Jay. If I'm going to shorten the videos, maybe I could do a cleaning hack once a week. Be careful what you fucking wish for. Next one. I spotted this by accident as well. I was looking for books on movies and stuff like that. I thought, that looks interesting. Going to the Movies in Baltimore, an affectionate memoir. Now, obviously, I don't live in Baltimore, so the cinema names will mean absolutely nothing to me. But the fact that they are old cinemas, and this guy is talking about the days that he spent as a kid going to these cinemas and talking about the movies that he watched, I'll find it fascinating. Doesn't matter where it's set. I've got countless books on old cinemas in sort of different counties in England and this, that and the other. And anybody that's ever seen them has said, why'd you bother getting those? You don't live anywhere near these places. I just like reading other people's movies, other people's memories of movies. So I'm definitely looking forward to having a read of that. And we have a handful of DVDs and Blu-rays here, which I'll just rattle through. I asked a question last week or the week before about Pixar movies. Which one should I go for? And I got quite a response to it. I basically said that I'd never seen a Pixar movie. So, with that being said, and yes, I know I could stream all these on Disney Plus, but I thought, you know what, I'll get the first three, and if I like them, I'll probably keep them. But if I just think they're okay, to the charity shop they will go. First one is Up. Heard so many good things about this. Apparently in certain parts it's heartbreaking. I don't know, because I've never seen it. Again, never seen a Pixar film. That was one of the ones that was recommended. I think Callum recommended this one, Monsters Inc. Again, know very little about it. It's not the kind of film that I would ever have bothered watching before, but it's been recommended to me, so I will give it a try. And the one that most people went for, this is probably the first one that I'm going to watch when I get the chance. the original Toy Story. Um, I've been recommended this by so many people, not just you guys, but people at work whenever I've mentioned that I've not seen a Pixar film. The first one, they will all say, you must have seen Toy Story. No, I haven't seen Toy Story. It's a Pixar film and I've not seen any. So that is going to be the first one I do take a look at. This was recommended to me by a guy at work. We were talking about, I think we were talking about zombie movies. I can't remember. But I happened to mention that he mentioned one, and I thought, I've never seen it. Never seen it. But they reckon this is one of the better ones. And what he said to me was something along the lines of that if a zombie apocalypse ever happened, it would probably look something like this. World War Z, Brad Pitt. Again, know nothing about it. I've only ever seen the trailer, and the only bit I can remember is where all those bodies are rushing up to that wall. You know the bit I mean if you've seen it. But again, it was recommended to me. It sounded brilliant, so I've grabbed it, which is something I'm not going to be doing from here on in, I promise you. Slade in Flame finally came through. Now, I want to introduce Rob to this one, so I will be saving this one for a Saturday night. This isn't even out this cellophane yet, but that's all the special features on the back, if you can read that. An amazing film, made in 1974 at the height of the glam rock explosion. When you look at all the other pop music movies that were around at the time, you've got stuff like Never Too Young to Rock, which was basically the Rubettes performing inside a roadside transport cafe. That's about as good as it got. But this one, it basically takes it to another level, so I'm really looking forward to watching this. I've seen it before, but they reckon the Blu-ray transfer and this is absolutely stunning, so I can't wait to have a look at that one. This was also recommended to me by somebody at work who asked me whether I'd ever seen it. And I said no. It's based on a Russian novel, so it's probably something that I would not bother watching. All of the film adaptations that I've seen of this are sort of epic, sort of 3, 4, 5 hours long. No. But he said he'd watched the BBC adaptation of this and it was absolutely brilliant. War and Peace. I know nothing about it apart from the fact it is based on a Tolstoy novel, but he has assured me that it is absolutely riveting, and the reviews that this got when it was screened, and I can't remember when it was first screened, it doesn't say on here, or does it? 2016. So it's a good 10 years old, but he recommended this to me, so I thought I'd grab the Blu-ray rather than try to grab hold of, it's not on iPlayer as far as I know, so I thought I'd grab a copy of this. So cheers, Yuri, for that one. This one, let's see. I've never seen this. Donna at work told me this is absolutely brilliant. She thinks I'll absolutely love it. Steve Mack, our Criterion guy, also recommended it to me. He did a video on the Criterion release of this, which is coming out any time now, with Nail and I. It's constantly on Film 4, but I always seem to miss it. And including with this, you've got How to Get Ahead in Advertising, which is another Richard E. Grant film. I've never seen this, but it's one that's been on my radar for about 40 years, and I've never actually got round to it. So I thought, with Nail and I, this is a very expensive edition. You can't get this for less than sort of 40 quid. I picked this one up for £12.99, I think, from CEX. So I can see why you shop there, Jace, definitely. But looking forward to that. It's a Blu-ray as well. This one caused some controversy when it came out. I wanted to watch this so much when I first heard about it. David Bowie plays Pontius Pilate, The Last Temptation of Christ. This is Martin Scorsese's take on the sort of the final days of Christ before Mel Gibson got a hold of it and turned it into an absolute bloodbath, which it was. In the what was it called, Passion of the Christ, which I've still not had the balls to watch yet because I've heard it's absolutely horrendous, but this I remember being really good. This is a Martin Scorsese film, and I've heard rumours that he's going to be doing a sequel to it. I don't quite know how you do a sequel to this, but they reckon it's probably going to be his last film. That's if he does it. But I really fancied watching this again. I couldn't find it on streaming anywhere, so I thought, you know what, for the sake of £7, grab it. Rick Mallin has done a new film. Rick, I got it through. I've not watched it yet. I'm going to try and watch it later today when I get home. If not, I will definitely try and watch it this weekend, and I'll do a proper little video review like I did of the last one, which I thought was great. One night rental. But I'm looking forward to this. I know very little about it apart from what I've read on the back of the box. But our Rick is in this, and he looks amazing. I've got to say, he looks like a proper actor, and he does. So have a look at the trailer if you get the chance. But I'll let you know what I think of this when I've watched it. But it's called Serial, and it sounds cracking. Rob is a huge fan of this TV series. He sort of kind of got me into it, and I didn't realise until they dropped it in on one episode that there was a movie version of it, and I thought he'd love to see this, and so would I. Catfish. The art of catfishing is apparently pretending to be someone that you're not in order to ensnare someone into an online relationship. The series is fascinating, it really is. I do watch it most Sundays. We watch it while we're having Sunday dinner. And when I found out that there was a movie version, basically detailing of how the series came about, all the lights have gone out again, how the series came about, I thought, you know what, I'll grab that for the sake of £3, I think it was. Catfish the movie, so I'll let you know what I think of that. And finally, British police work in the 70s at its finest. I watched a couple of episodes of this on Talking Pictures TV, and I spotted this on Amazon for, I think it was £13. Dixon of Dock Green. This is the complete collection 1 to 3, all the colour episodes, I believe. Really, really looking forward to this. Before the Sweeney broke the mould in 1975, with a lot of swearing, nudity and violence, there was Dixon of Dock Green, your friendly neighbourhood copper, solving crimes. I used to love this as a kid. My dad used to watch it with my mum, and I used to end up watching it. And I haven't seen it for years, and I watched a couple of episodes on TPTV and thought, I need to watch that again. So I've grabbed that one. So, right, that's your lot, guys. I'm all done. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back again with you in another 2 weeks with more of the same. If you've got any questions for me, comments, drop them down below, and I will be addressing them on the next video. Have a brilliant next couple of weeks, guys. As I say, thank you very much for joining me, and thank you so much for your support in taking this fortnightly. You would not believe how much easier this has been for me. It's made such a difference. So thank you so much for that. Have a great couple of weeks, folks, and I will talk to you all again in a fortnight. Take care. Ta-da.